In the Caribbean, Jennifer desperately swims in the sea while keeping an eye on the sharks. After lots of effort, she finally makes it to the shore and collapses. This started 2 days ago. Jennifer, her husband Jack, and a few friends arrive at the beach to board a fancy yacht. The women immediately notice staff member Manuel because he's incredibly handsome, but the mood gets tense when his ex-girlfriend Maria arrives to yell at him. She doesn't want him to leave without having a proper conversation, but he says that he doesn't want to see her ever again. Maria slaps him and Manuel hits her back, so Jack wants to help. However, Jennifer and his friends tell him not to get involved. Maria curses Manuel and the guests before finally going away. That night, Jack teases Manuel for what happened in the docks and invites him to have a drink with the group, but Manuel turns him down. Jack is now more certain that Manuel is just a jerk. After dinner, Jack and Jennifer get naughty in their room. Manuel is in the room next to theirs and can hear everything. At first he tries to ignore it and cover his ears, but he ends up paying attention to it. Meanwhile, Maria is doing a special voodoo ritual. She picks a doll and thinks about her good memories with Manuel to put a curse on him. She also channels Jack's and Jennifer's energy for her own pleasure. When she hits the doll, Manuel's nose starts bleeding. The next day, Jack complains because Manuel hasn't brought them the drinks he ordered. At that moment Manuel arrives with the order and a bit of sarcasm, so Jack complains again and Captain Richards promises he'll take care of it. In private, Richards scolds Manuel for his attitude and an argument ensues. When Richards warns him that this may cost him his job, Manuel agrees to quit and Richards says he'll drop him at the next port. An angry Manuel storms out of the kitchen after throwing his towel, not noticing that it lands on the stove and catches fire. Soon the flames start spreading and the guests see the smoke, so they warn Richards. The captain rushes to get the extinguisher and tries to put out the fire, but it's too late. It's already grown too big and the flames are reaching the deck. Richards announces they're abandoning the yacht and has to argue with Jack, who complains about his vacation getting cancelled. The group splits into 2 lifeboats and sails off right before a small explosion goes off inside the ship. Unfortunately, a raging storm takes them by surprise and destroys their boats, throwing everyone in the water. Now Jennifer is alone on an island, wondering what to do. Suddenly she sees something in the water and realizes it's Richard's body. She rushes to retrieve him and tries to do CPR, but she panics when she sees blood coming out of his mouth. At that moment Manuel finds her and tries to help, however Richards is already dead. In the evening, it starts raining again and the duo takes shelter under the broken boat. Jennifer feels very cold, so Manuel gives her his shirt. The next morning Manuel buries Richards and puts on his goggles to go diving for seafood. He also finds a knife in the sand. Jennifer can't help but admire his wet body when he comes back without a shirt. When she gets in the water, he admires her body too. They discuss the situation and Manuel explains that it could take them months to find them. Jennifer insists they should start a fire and Manuel points out there's nothing he can use. Instead he wants to build a house. Using the knife, Manuel cuts a bunch of leaves and branches from trees. Then the duo searches for any useful objects that have washed ashore and builds a decent hut. They drink water from coconuts and eat the fish Manuel catches. The next morning Jennifer is sad about the situation, so Manuel invites her to go for a swim to distract themselves. Since he doesn't want to sleep in wet clothes, he takes them all off before jumping in. After some hesitation, Jennifer does the same. She asks Manuel about Maria, so he claims that she made him hit her because she made him look bad in front of his friends and doesn't want to face her problems. He thinks that she wants to blame him for everything and punish him for it. It turns out Maria said she was pregnant and wanted to marry Manuel, but he said no. When Manuel asks about Jennifer's life, she refuses to answer. He calls her out for the double standard and says that just like Jack, she thinks she's better than everyone else just because she has money. An angry Jennifer insults him and Manuel reminds her that the only reason she's survived so far is thanks to him. She asks him to look the other way when she leaves the water, but Manuel refuses and says naughty things about her body before telling her she has no heart. That night, Jennifer gives him the cold shoulder. However, the next morning she tells him that she doesn't want to fight anymore and they agree to be friends. Manuel swims to the reef and after avoiding a shark, he manages to capture a lobster. When he returns to the shore, he's shocked to find Jack barely conscious on the sand. He immediately takes him to Jennifer and the couple happily reunites. Jack has several wounds, so he needs to rest for a while. While Jack sleeps, Jennifer thanks Manuel for saving him. Manuel says he almost didn't, but then claims he's just joking. When Jack wakes up, he sees Manuel and Jennifer playing in the water and becomes suspicious. The duo returns to their camp and is shocked to find a fire. Jack claims he achieved it with just a few sticks, but Manuel knows that can't be done with the local wood, so Jack is forced to reveal he has a lighter. Jennifer gets affectionate with him and Manuel is annoyed just by watching them. Then Jennifer asks about their friends and sadly Jack confirms they didn't survive. He asks Manuel for the knife to cut the fish, but Manuel is wary of Jack and cuts it for him. After Manuel leaves to go swimming, Jack asks Jennifer what she's been doing with Manuel. She assures him they're just friends and is so offended by the question that she goes swimming too. When she returns, he apologizes for his attitude and blames it on the frustration created by their current situation. Sometime later, while the couple is looking for coconuts, Jack points out that it's suspicious that Manuel just happened to have goggles with him when the fire happened. At that moment Manuel comes back and explains he couldn't fish anything because the reef is too rough today, so Jack convinces him to take Jennifer with him for help. Before she leaves, Jack privately tells her that he can't grieve his friends because Manuel is armed and wants to steal his wife, which Jennifer finds ridiculous. At the reef, Manuel manages to capture a lobster. Then he lends Jennifer his goggles so she can admire the coral. Jennifer sees a shark and freaks out, but Manuel teases her and she realizes he made her look on purpose. Unfortunately, Jennifer ends up getting stung by a jellyfish. When the duo returns to the shore, they discover that Jack dug out Richards to take his things, which include clothes, cigars, and a knife. He's also moved the hut so the couple can stay there and Manuel can have the broken boat. Jennifer scolds him for his attitude and reminds him that Manuel saved their lives. Jack insists that something happened between Jennifer and Manuel, so she tells him it's all in his head. When Jack sees the jellyfish wound, he says it was karma. Afterward, Jennifer tells Manuel that Jack thinks they're having an affair, and Manuel says they should do it since they're getting the blame anyway. When Jack joins them for a meal, Jennifer tries to start some friendly talk but the men end up arguing anyway. Manuel reminds Jack that his money means nothing here, so he's just a gringo who can't feed himself. In return, Jack reminds him that he has the fire, so Manuel tells him he can keep the lighter but he'll also have to catch his own food. After Manuel leaves, Jennifer gets angry with Jack because now they won't have any food. Jack promises to feed them and finds a small crab in the woods. However, when he eats it, he ends up throwing up. Then they go diving to try to fish for something, but they only capture a little thing. While Jack decides to go to the reef, Jennifer returns to the beach and eats the tiny mollusk, which makes her cough. Manuel is having plenty of fresh fish and offers to share it with her, but Jennifer thinks it'd be betraying Jack. Growing more frustrated, Manuel points out that Jack treats Jennifer pretty badly and even promises to keep the secret if she eats. He also admits he's been attracted to her since he first saw her. Jennifer isn't sure if she should trust him, but in the end hunger wins and she takes some fish, thanking Manuel with a kiss on the cheek. At the reef, Jack only finds some tiny fish and it takes him a lot of effort to catch them. He takes them back to Jennifer, only for Manuel to warn him that the yellow ones are poisonous. Jack finds a stick on the sand with a bit of fish on it and wonders if she's been hanging out with Manuel. Jennifer tells him that she stole it, but Jack doesn't believe her and asks Manuel, who says Jennifer wouldn't have to steal from him because he'd share. Jennifer sees another argument coming and says they should move far away from Manuel, but Jack refuses. The couple spends the next few hours trying to catch something to eat. When Jack turns around, he discovers that his fire is gone and now Manuel has won. He runs back to their living space and accuses Manuel of stealing the fire, yet Manuel swears a spark fell on his sticks. Then Jack puts out the fire with sand, so Manuel hits him a few times with a branch. Jack responds by tackling him and a fight ensues. They roll on the sand for a while and when Manuel has an opening, he grabs his spear. Jack asks for his knife but Jennifer keeps it away from them. A furious Jack accuses Manuel of starting the fire to steal Jennifer from him. Then he takes the fish and returns to the hut. Sometime later, Jack is building something in secret. While Manuel naps, Jack steals his goggles. When Manuel wakes up, he sees Jack swimming away with the goggles and gets angry, so he grabs his spear to go after him. Jennifer jumps on him to stop him and Manuel immediately brings her down, touching her in inappropriate ways. At first Jennifer says no, but Manuel shows her how good he is and she ends up enjoying the way he abuses her. Once they're done, Manuel asks Jennifer to live with him. Jennifer turns him down and asks him to keep the secret. Manuel promises he won't tell and says that he loves her. Meanwhile, Jack is finally catching decent fish thanks to the goggles and a spear he built himself. Suddenly a group of sharks appears nearby, so Jack swims as fast as he can to avoid them. Soon he's back on the beach and he tosses the goggles to Manuel before showing Jennifer the big fish he caught. Jennifer scolds him for taking the goggles and Jack realizes that Manuel isn't angry, so he realizes that Jennifer was naughty with him to calm him down. Jack punches the hut in fury and Jennifer has a breakdown as he starts yelling at her and insulting her. Suddenly he grabs her by the hair and drags her to Manuel's spot, telling her to live there now. Manuel comforts Jennifer, saying she doesn't need Jack anymore. Later, Jack finds some random objects on the shore including a plastic bottle, and he manages to build his own goggles. He swims to the reef and disappears for several hours, so Jennifer starts to worry. Manuel distracts her by making her dance with him, unaware that Jack is watching them from afar. The next time Jack goes diving, he finds the other boat and immediately drags it to the beach. Manuel and Jennifer try to help him, but he sends them away. Sometime later, Jennifer notices that Jack is fixing the boat and mocks him, pointing out that he'll die at sea. An argument ensues and Jennifer walks away when Jack starts punching the boat. That night, while Manuel and Jennifer are chatting, Jack screams that Jennifer tried to get dirty with him for a spot on the boat. Jennifer assures Manuel that it's a lie and they run to the water to get naughty while Jack watches from the woods. After seeing him, Jennifer tells Manuel that they should take the boat and abandon Jack. The next morning, Jack goes fishing so he can have food for his trip. Jennifer and Manuel take the chance to steal the boat and Jack sees them, so he quickly runs after them. However, they're already aboard and they sail away before he can catch them. Once they're out of sight, Jack sits back and relaxes. After a few hours of sailing, The duo notices that there's a hole in the boat and water is leaking in. Jennifer realizes that this was Jack's plan all along. He only pretended to fix the boat and baited them into stealing it so they'd drown. The boat soon begins to sink and the duo has to swim as fast as they can. At the beach, Jack is enjoying his peace. Eventually Jennifer and Manuel come back and Jack gets his spear ready. Jennifer tries to stop him but Jack just pushes her off and throws the spear at Manuel, stabbing him in the back. Then Jennifer tackles Jack and Manuel punches him in the face before swimming away. A crying Jennifer calls Jack a coward because he waited until Manuel was tired from all the swimming to attack him. That night, Jack keeps Jennifer tied up and tells her the things he plans to do to her. Suddenly Manuel attacks Jack from behind and another fight ensues. While the men roll on the sand and keep on hitting each other, Jennifer steps on a box to reach the top of the hut. She pushes her gag off and uses her mouth to undo the rope knots. Manuel reaches the fire and takes a hot stick while Jack takes his spear, so now they're fighting with weapons. When Jennifer finally frees herself, she pushes Jack and Manuel throws him into the fire, giving the duo an opening to run away. Jack rushes to the water to put the flames on his pants out. In the morning, Jennifer bandages Manuel's wounds but she worries because he has a fever. Meanwhile Maria starts another ritual with Manuel's doll. She moves at the same time as Jack, who goes looking for them and chases them through the woods by following their tracks. Eventually he finds them on top of a tree and as Maria drops the doll, Jack throws the spear at Manuel and makes him fall. Then Jack pulls out his knife to kill Manuel, so Jennifer jumps on him to stop him. They struggle on the ground and Jennifer bites his nose while reaching for the knife, but Jack blocks her attack. Manuel picks up a rock hoping to smash Jack's head, however Maria stabs the doll and Manuel falls back on the spear, which impales him to death. A year later, a family on a yacht stops by the island on a vacation and they find Jennifer sleeping in the hut. The family agrees to take her with them and she grabs the lighter before leaving. On the yacht, Jennifer finally gets to eat real food again. At the reef, Jack is fishing when he sees the yacht pass by with Jennifer aboard. He waves his arms and yells for help, but Jennifer ignores him and the yacht leaves without him. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.